Hello, and welcome. I found out about this game earlier this week, doom scrolling through Facebook, and it is a historical true crime investigation and courtroom game where I think you play as the prosecutor and you can interview witnesses and look through clues and try to piece together the events and take it to court, and hopefully you get a conviction. But it is a Kickstarter, so the only thing that's available right now is the demo. I do have the link for the Kickstarter, so if anybody is interested in supporting it or even going on Steam to play the game themselves, they are more than welcome to use customize time manually unpin. There, sure. I pinned it, so if anybody's interested in supporting the Kickstarter right now, I think they're raising funds for adapting the game in other languages. So I think they're working on French right now. I'm not exactly sure what other languages they're looking to add, but I know it's in English, and that's really the only one that matters to me right now. So I have not played it yet. This is going to be my first experience with the game, as well as anybody who is currently watching. But I really hope that you enjoy it as much as I hope that I do. And follow their Twitter page, their Instagram, and the Kickstarter, because just from reading about it, it seems like it's going to be a pretty cool game. So let's get started and see how everything goes. Let's see here. Okay. Pick that. Investigator mode. Let's see, this mode is for players who want to solve puzzles and prefer a more challenging experience. Or story mode. This mode is for players who want to experience the story of the game without great challenges. Well, let's see. Since it's the demo, and I know for a fact that most people are probably not going to want to sit there and watch me stare at the game with this expression, just trying to figure out. We'll go with story mode first, and then as we ease into the game, I'll see if I want to increase the difficulty. Maybe we'll do another one with investigator mode, just to kind of get a feel of how everything's going to go. See, the events of our game are based on true crimes committed during the Nazi era and were investigated in the young Federal Republic of Germany. With the exception of Fritz Bauer, the names of all those involved have been changed. Any similarities with existing persons of the same name are purely coincidental.
Frankfurt, West Germany, 1956. 11 years after the end of World War II, many crimes of the Nazi era still go unpunished. The perpetrators of these crimes are walking free. Many judges, prosecutors, and police officers have already served under the Nazis. Now they have no interest in prosecuting their former comrades for actions similar to their own. For the victims of these crimes, this is unbearable. To end this, Attorney General Fritz Bauer establishes a special unit of young prosecutors with no ties to the old regime. I am Esther Katz. I am one of these prosecutors. We are investigating Nazi crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. Not to avenge, not to heal, but to show that there are laws that apply to all. It doesn't make us popular. Most want to forget. Some want us to shut up. But they cannot stop us. Nothing belongs to the past. Everything is still present and can become the future again. Previously on The Darkest Files.
Miss Katz, welcome to the front line. I believe I have the perfect case for you to start with. Hans Naumann, an older gentleman, shot just before the end of the war. According to the victim's wife, her husband was taken by a uniformed man for no reason. I suggest you invite the widow to give a statement.
Mrs. Naumann just arrived. I showed her to the conference room.
I know it's not easy, but please take me through the day your husband was taken.
It was in April 45, only days before the Americans came. Hans was upstairs when the doorbell rang. There were two men. Hans came down and asked them what they wanted. Then everything happened so fast. The small one said they'd let him go if our son would turn himself in. Then they just herded him out, like an animal. This was the last time I saw him alive. Hans was innocent. They killed him, and that's murder. No matter what they call it. Please, Miss Katz, will you find the man?
Paula, I need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Please invite Mr. Kiebitz.
Act 1, The Insurgent. Fritz Bauer continued his position. Alright. I didn't even get to read it. Thanks. The first suspect. October 11th, 1956. Seems pretty straightforward. Interact. Archive. I can interact with the chair so I can sit down. Cafe. Shelton. Okay, let's look at this.
Looks more like somebody's home than a prosecutor's office.
No, yeah, I would agree. It is very welcoming. Can I sit down? Oh, isn't this cozy? That's nice.
Archive? Not where I should be now.
Well, why not? I guess we wouldn't know what to look for. Just searching through papers, just to search through papers.
Good morning, Miss Katz.
Who's talking? Who? Oh, hi. Hold on. I must look at everything before I give you direct eye contact. Plants?
So many plants. Someone here has quite the green thumb.
Alright.
Fritz Bauer.
Fritz.
I'd be hard-pressed to find a more disliked name in the city. I hope this job wasn't a mistake.
Maybe. Christoph. Okay. I figure that once I talk to the lady, it will start continue the storyline. So I'm just gonna kind of take a look around, see if there's anything else I can interact with. I can sit down. Hi. Wah. Kitchen. Ooh, I can go in there. In a minute. Ooh. Sure, let's go to the kitchen. Dirty dishes.
Not the cleanest of places.
Well.
Does it just go all day long?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Ooh. Oh. Okay, I guess this might be important. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
The door is locked.
Uh-oh. Okay. I think that's about everything. Let's go talk to the lady at the front desk. I forgot your name already. Who are you? Who are you?
Miss Katz, is there anything I can do for you?
Paula. Let's see. Are there any new documents? Did I miss any calls? Nothing for now. Documents.
Paula, any new files for me?
I left them on your desk, Miss Katz. Yesterday's transcript is also attached. If you could please read it to see if everything is correct.
Calls.
Did anybody call me while I wasn't here?
Oh, and there was a call for you. Asked for you to call back. I wrote down the number and left it with the files. I'm afraid he didn't give a name. An older man, I'd say. Sounded very proper, even if he did ignore my questions.
Okay.
That will be all for now. Thank you, Paula.
Yes.
Always happy to help.
Thank you, Paula. You're very nice. I also, and do I have zoomy eyes? What? Check my inbox. I'm just pushing buttons now. I guess we don't have zoomy eyes, but I like her cat. Okay, so I have a desk. I'm not Fritz Bauer, nor am I Christoph. There I am. Was this door here before? I think it was. Alright. Oh, look at this. This is a nice office. Love the color palette. Okay, this looks like an answering machine, I guess. There's the case file. Phone. Is there anything else? Probably not since I'm in story mode, but sure, let's take a seat. Oh, that's an intercom, not an answering machine. I don't think they had answering machines in 1956. At least, I don't know if they did. Yeah, I think that's an intercom. That probably connects me to Paula, so... Let's see. The first witness will come in later today. I added some documents to your case file. And there was a man calling for you. He left a number. Unfortunately, he hung up before I could get his name. Please ask if you need anything else. Paula. She's a sweetheart. I like her. New tutorial available. Oh, okay. The notebook. Your notebook contains your current to-dos, overviews of characters, and more. Access it through the radial menu LB. Okay, so that's what I hit before. Open the tutorial menu. Dismiss. Great. Notebook. Case file. Pause menu. Dialogue. Log. Oh, that's nice. I can go over what people have said. It's great for me. Absolutely fantastic. Because I will absolutely not hear at all what somebody just said and be like, oh shit, what? Let's look at the case file. Okay, bookmarks. The case file. Select a category in the left hand side of the screen. Okay, so we have old case, background, suspects, and transcripts. Oh. Okay. And see, this is another reason why I picked story, because I figured there was going to be a lot of reading. Okay, so we have the police report. I'll just kind of thumb through it all first. Protocol of conversation. Official order. In the name of the German people. Alright. Background. So, uniform. I guess guidelines. Types of uniforms. Oh. Okay, that'll come in handy, I guess, when we start interviewing certain people to recognize main uniforms and rank insignia of the Army, uniform and rank insignia of the political leaders of the NSDAP, and uniform and rank insignia of the German police. I guess just it'll help to kind of tell them apart and to be respectful, because I guess I would imagine that it would force people to clam up if you just respect them by calling them by the wrong name or wrong rank and stuff. Original document. Okay, so... Nice. Alright. Transcripts. Testimony. That's sweet. Okay, so what happened on April 28th, 1945? I was at home when two uniformed men showed up at our door. One was small and wore glasses. The other was a bit taller and bigger. He had a badge with 2 gold stripes on his collar. Okay, what did the men want? They pointed a gun at me and asked for my husband. Hans came to the door. Smaller man grabbed Hans. Once your son turns himself in, your husband's free to go. Ooh. Okay. Documents with bookmarks will appear here. Okay. Do I put bookmarks on things? I don't know. Oh. Hold on. I'm reading the newspaper. What? Oh, that. Hold on.
Miss Katz, Mr. Bauer wants to talk to you.
Oh, any idea why?
I am sure he just wants to hear the latest update from you. He also said he wants to make sure you are properly prepared.
Properly prepared? What does he mean by that?
I have a hunch, but it's best to ask him that yourself.
Thank you, Paula. I'll be joining him in a minute.
Yep. Okay, that's the intercom. Well... Notebook. Okay. Urgent tasks. Meet Mr. Matter. Interrogate the first suspect as soon as he is here. Read new documents and case file. Call back the number Paula noted, which is something I will need to do. Those are time sensitive. Okay. One of the few willing to prosecute these old cases. He used to give guest lectures back when I studied. I think he still does. Oh. Okay, so some definitions of things that we're going to hear about. I guess the prosecutor's like, wait a minute, let me reference this. What's manslaughter again? Prussia. Neat. Okay, well, I'll call that guy back in a minute. Evidently, I have to go see my boss.
The witness is not in yet. I would go and meet Mr. Bauer first.
Yes, I know. He should be over here.
Hello, Miss Katz. Any news regarding the Naumann case?
Yep, here we go. I didn't read the police report at all. Surprising ones? Sure, yes.
Yes, I think so. After talking to Mrs. Naumann, it seems like Hans Naumann was indeed innocent. The men were looking for his son, Jan Naumann. When they couldn't find Jan, they took Hans instead, the father.
I assume that's what Miss Naumann told you. But are you sure she is telling the truth?
According to the files, the man they were looking for had climbed up a flagpole, torn down a flag, and beaten up a block warden when he was caught in the act. Hans Naumann was 77 years old at the time. Of course, there are older men who are in good shape, but...
Pulling down a flag and beating someone up seems unlikely. I understand.
Yes.
I see, but why did the man take him, if they knew he was innocent?
Well, I suppose it probably would have paid off if I actually read the police report. I think it was more like as a hostage
According
situation.
to Mrs. Naumann, they took him as a hostage. They were hoping his son, Jan, would surrender once he learned that they had his father.
Highly illegal, even back then. Not uncommon, though. But why did they shoot the old man?
Yeah, I really should have read the police report. Let's see. Well, let's see. If my boss is asking me a question, I'm not going to answer him with a question. So I'm going to say, I don't know yet.
That I don't know yet. But I believe this is definitely a case for us.
It is, indeed. We need witnesses.
I'd start with the names mentioned in the files of the first investigation. I've already invited Hermann Kiebitz to join me later this afternoon.
Excellent. Let's get this case to court, Miss Cutts. And be mindful of time. We do not have nearly enough of it here. Once you hear from all witnesses, we need to move to court quickly. Since you have never led a case before, I want you to be prepared.
Be prepared.
Mr. Peters has agreed to look over your shoulder and help you out. Present your findings, prove your claims. It will help you to familiarize yourself with the ins and outs of court. We cannot afford to fail at court, and preparation is the key to success.
I'll do what I can.
A new task has been added to the notebook. Okay. So let's take a peek. Meet Mr. Peters. Okay. I think it might do me some good to maybe read through the police report. Yeah. So let's take a sit back down. Okay, so I got a little bit of information based off of their conversation, but I don't think I have nearly enough. Okay, on May 10th, 1945, a dead body was reported to the police in a wooded area near Munich. The deceased was identified as Hans Naumann, aged 77. The autopsy revealed that he was killed by a 7.65 millimeter Browning caliber gunshot to the forehead at close range. Ooh, no other injuries were found. Execution style. The victim's widow filed a criminal complaint against unknown persons on August 8th, 1945. She had observed two men pick up her husband on April... Did I say April 8th? August 8th. Observed two men picked up her husband on April 28th, 1945. He had been considered missing ever since. Well, they held him for a while, waiting for her son to come forward. See, the four suspects identified in connection with the victim's disappearance were interrogated. All suspects testified that the victim was guilty of treason, and was therefore lawfully executed. The evaluation of whether a crime has been committed is the responsibility of the authorized prosecutor's office. Okay, Police Department 24, 8000 Munich. Public Prosecutor's Office, Munich. This looks like an address. January 12th, 1947. Dear Mr. Bustain. Sure. The investigation into the death of Hans Naumann, or Naumann? I forgot how they've been pronouncing his name. From Munich has revealed that he fell victim to a violent crime. For details, please see the attached file report. We were able to identify 4 possible suspects who were connected with the victim's disappearance. Faltman Alfred, Kiebitz Hermann, Snickert Karl, and Schwarz Herbert. The police investigation is thus considered closed, and we hereby officially turn the case over to your prosecutor's office. If your encounter Now, if you encounter any questions during the examination for indictment, please do not hesitate to contact us at any time. Okay, protocol of conversation. So, witness of Hubert Schwarz on November 7th, 1946. P. Astor. Please tell me what happened on the 28th of April, 1945. Schwarz. I remember that my esteemed colleague, Alfred Faltman, group leader, so that's what the GR is, the group leader, of the local group I tasked with catching the criminal, came to my office. He told me they got the traitor and gave his report from the arrest. I went, together with Mr. Faltman, out into the hallway. With crimes of this severity, I always give the same order, the order to execute. I then told my driver to come with me to my office. The others went to the prisoner to carry out my order as requested. Okay. He didn't at all ask for any proof there. He was like, well, that's pretty severe. Death! Let's see. P. Astor, your driver? What for? Schwartz. There was already unrest in the country because of the Americans, who were just flooding in like flies. I wanted to set up alternative routes with my driver to avoid these Americans and still make it to my important appointments. Shortly thereafter, there was already a polite knock at the door, and group leader Faltman reported to me that the insurgent had been successfully executed. Great. Okay. Official order. Germans, national comrades. In this most difficult time for our nation, more than ever, the responsibility for Germany's fate rests on all of our shoulders. All Germans are called upon to fight against the traitors in our own country. The resistance is to be disarmed. The uprisings have to be quelled. Anyone who propagates or approves of any measures that would weaken our resistance against the enemy is a traitor and must be shot. An attempt at insubordination must be met with immediate removal from all public positions and expulsion from the party. The name of Germany will not be tarnished. I trust in your confidence, your absolute allegiance and discipline. From Helmut Solbrig, regional leader. His stamp is kind of in the way. I think that's what his name is. Okay, so preliminary proceedings. So against Alfred August Faltman, Hermann Kibitz, Karl Snickert, and Hubert Schwarz due to manslaughter. Okay. Dear Mrs. Naumann, in the above-mentioned proceedings, we made the following decision. The proceedings shall be discontinued pursuant to 170... Oh, that symbol, I think, relates to, like, some form of precedent or law something. 170, Section 2 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Yeah, precedent. Reasons: the victim, Hans Naumann, was a communist insurgent who carried out highly treasonable actions in a wartime situation. The execution ordered by the district leader was carried out according to the law in force at the time of the crime. Okay. In the name of the German people. In the case of last name, Jan Naumann. Unemployed, single, place of residence. See, arrested on April 28th, 1945, currently in the NSDAP district office custody for his involvement in treasonous activity. The prisoner is to be immediately executed as traitor to the German nation. Grounds: prisoner Jan Naumann was recognized as the perpetrator of an organized operation deliberately aimed at weakening the people's resistance against the invading forces. H. Schwartz. Okay, so... in the name of the German people. So that particular file is stating that... I'm guessing that's... it doesn't look like an official arrest warrant, but... that has the son's name on it. For treasonous activity. But her... I guess case against the 4 of them for manslaughter... of her husband. But the official paperwork from H. Schwartz is for the son, not the father. Or wait, hold on. Arrested on 4/28. Group leader, he told Mr. Faltman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it seems... showcase number... yeah, it seems to me that they're trying to backpedal. The arrest warrant, I'm just going to call that in the name of the German people. It's not really in a warrant, it's more like an official paperwork stating that they arrested somebody, but they're saying that they arrested the son, but really, they took the father, okay? So the police report didn't have anything to do with why they were there to begin with, so that was new information to me. He's just a boy. He's a young little dude. Okay. So I guess I should probably call that dude back now. I didn't see the phone number anywhere, but let's call this mysterious person, I guess.
Who do I want to call?
Ghostbusters. The number Paul wrote down.
Father? I didn't expect you'd call me here.
Oh, Esther, my dear, so good to hear you. Did you settle in all right?
Did I call Dad? Did he call in? I'm confused. Just checking in. It's been... with a question mark. It's been... I'm excited.
I have great colleagues. Well, most of them. And I believe I can do a lot of good here.
I see. Esther, there's something I want to discuss. Do you remember our little talk? It must have been last month.
Ooh, the job offer? Remind me, Father.
I don't recall.
Then you should pay better attention. It pays off in our line of work. It is about the job at Bergmann, Karnich and Partners. Family law. Very respectable.
But, Dad, I already have a job. Yeah, can we talk about this another time?
Dad, I'm really busy here. Can we talk about this another time?
Esther, let me be very frank with you.
No.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am. A prosecutor at your age, with the view on women on our line of work being what it is, I'd have to be a fool not to. But your mother and I, we are worried. Do you have any idea what they say about power?
He used to teach stuff. I remember reading about that, but I didn't read what the newspaper said. Obviously people are gonna hate him. He's trying to persecute the bad people that everybody want to protect because of corruption. Sure, some people hate him.
There are those who hate him. It means he's on the right track.
To be young and so naive again.
Oh, shut up, Dad. What do you know?
He's hated because he's on a witch hunt. Listen to your father. Leave. Nothing good will come from this.
I'm an adult. I make my own decisions, Dad.
I make my own decisions now, Father.
No, Essie. I must apologize. I did not mean to get so passionate about this. I'm just worried. You don't know how important one's reputation is. And if people start to associate you with that man, I just want what's best for you, Essie.
I know that.
I'm proud of you. I know I already said that, but I really am. Like you can't imagine.
Why did I call my dad when I called the number that was supposedly left? Okay, I guess I was supposed to read this. Irresponsible and detrimental to the stability of the state. These were the words used by members of the Hessian State Parliament last week to describe Fritz Bauer's work as Attorney General. Some local CDU PMs, I said that backwards, CDU MPs, called for his immediate dismissal in view of the fact that more lives are thrown. Oh, my dog is unhappy. Thanks, Tree, you messed me up. In view of the fact that more lives are thrown into disarray with each of his ill-considered cases, the question arises, what will be the price of Bauer's fanatical crusade, and can Germany afford to pay it? Sounds like people just don't want to get in trouble.
Who do I want to call?
When did I ever say my parents? Never mind.
Never mind.
Okay, so then what else do I have to do? Interrogate the... Let's check to see if he's here. Paula? Is there anybody waiting for me? Let's check downstairs. Hello? No. Alright. Then... Where's this... That's not... Pete. Mr. Pete?
What?
Oh, yep, Peters, Mr. Oh, okay. Why isn't your name outside the door? I'm supposed to meet with you, you douche canoe.
And hello to you too.
Right. Sorry.
Mr. Bauer told me we should work together.
Right. The court preparations. Paula has already given me the protocols of yesterday's interrogation. I haven't got around to reading it yet, but there is no point discussing it before you've met the witnesses anyway.
Peters,
Gods?
thank you for thinking I'm a total beginner.
Oh, you're welcome. Someone has to do it, since Mr. Bauer apparently overestimates your abilities. And while we're at it, don't forget to bring some evidence. I don't want us to improvise the whole thing.
That's obvious, Peters.
Good. As soon as you think you're ready, come by and we'll get it over with. What does she want now? Yes, Paula.
Excuse me, Mr. Peters, but I have a message for Miss Katz.
I'm listening, Paula.
The witness you asked me to contact, Hermann Kiebitz, just arrived.
Thank you, Paula. I'll be right with him.
Okay. Are you gonna respond? There we go. Goodness gracious. Whenever a witness is arriving and ready to be asked, Paula will inform you about it. You can then enter the conference room to start questioning the witness. There you can ask them about their version of events and memories. Okay. Oh, thanks for kicking me out there. You don't even have a nameplate. But, wait. Oh, you do have a nameplate. It just fell off the wall. You know why? 'Cause you're a douche.
The witness you asked me to contact, Hermann Kiebitz, just arrived.
Right. Oh, I can go say hello to Christoph?
Christopher's not in today. The cold from yesterday must have caught up with him.
All right, I didn't even click on it. I just got too close to the door.
Good morning. My name is Esther Katz.
A pleasure, miss. Could you tell me how long I have to wait for the prosecutor?
Mr. Kiebitz, I'm the prosecutor here.
Oh, modern times, I guess. How long will this take?
Just for that stupid question, I think I'll think on it for a little bit. How long are we going to keep you here? Well, my little woman brain, I just don't know. As long as it needs, dick. Although I do kind of wish I would have read a little bit more about him specifically before I went in there. Kind of get a little refresher. Definitely should have done that.
It will take as long as it takes.
Yeah.
It's all right, miss. I'm just asking.
Let's get started, shall we? This is about the arrest of Hans Naumann in Munich on April 28, 1945. According to a witness, 2 men picked up Mr. Naumann from his apartment. Were you one of them?
You're pretty. You know that?
Mr.
Ugh.
Kiebitz, were you one of those men?
No, I wasn't. We drove to the house. Then our group leader and Mr. Schickert got out of the car to arrest the men. Then they tossed the old man into the car and headed to the district office.
The district office. Where was it located?
We just had moved it into the basement of an old brewery, still stuffed with beer bottles and barrels. District Leader Schwarz came out and gave the command.
Hold on a minute. I remember reading from the witness statement, I think, that, what's his name? From the lady, the wife of Hans, I forgot her first name, that she said that there was a guy with glasses that was there. I think he's lying. Okay, new tutorial. Enable HUD. The HUD shows your current goal and the names of people present in memories. In this case, go to your office and inspect the files. To enable the HUD, press RB. Okay. Interrogate Herman, Kybit, Karl Schnickert, Herbert, and Alfred. Okay. Oh, I do have a little bit of zoomy eyes. Ludmilla. Okay, so I was at home when 2 uniformed men showed up at our door. One was small and wore glasses. The other was a bit taller and bigger. Yes, one was small and wore glasses. So that was, small and wore, yeah, HK, which is Herman Kybitz. So he's a liar, liar, plants for hire.
What command? What did he say?
He ordered us to execute the man.
He did.
Then he left. I felt uneasy. This wasn't right.
Right. A new lead has been added to the notebook. Alright.
We followed group leader Falkman to the cell. There was tension.
Interact with memories. It takes a little bit before it... There we go. Interacting in memories. By focusing on certain objects of interest with RT or A, Esther will form a question related to it. There are optional and story-related interaction objects. highlighted in a different color. Main story objects are marked in yellow, whereby optional ones are highlighted in teal. Alright. Let's take a sneak a peek around then. Optional. Hold on.
Were there any other prisoners at that time?
Obviously, yes. We had to put the traitors somewhere.
So
We
many
adapted part of the
traitors.
storage rooms
So
as
little
cells.
time. Employees are prohibited from sampling the merchandise. No drinking on the job.
With the district office being a brewery, you helped yourself to the stocks?
Of course not.
Of course
How
not.
could you assume something like that? We may have had a drink or two, but never on duty.
Well, that's still sampling the merchandise. Doesn't mean if you're on duty or not. Poop head. Can I move? Oh, I can move back now. Okay, cool. Nice.
Why did you relocate the office?
Because of a big air raid. We wanted to be underground. We also would be safer.
Alright. Alright, excuse me. How about this?
What were your local group's responsibilities in the very last days of the war?
We were responsible for all concerns and for many households within Munich. Above all, we tried to eliminate insurgencies.
I'm surprised he's talking to us in this much detail at all. I mean, I don't know if he's like...
Were summary executions common?
In those days, yes.
He seems to be willing to, like, give us full sentence answers. Which is nice. Despite him thinking we're a pretty woman.
I can still hear the sirens in my head. They seem to last forever. But it may just have been a minute full of despair. If you survived it.
That wasn't really a question.
This must be the cell.
Thank you. Why do you say that? Excuse me while I bump face first into things. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any things. Any things? Yes, all the things, plural.
Was your local group in contact with other local groups?
Just in Bavaria, there were 28 local groups. We were in constant contact with them.
Okay. Bavaria. Like Bavarian Creamfield.
How did you ensure the energy supply?
The district struggled to produce enough energy. There were frequent power failures. For emergency, we had a generator. If worst came to worst, we used oil lamps.
Ah.
They must have had petrol to run the generator, or to destroy evidence.
I feel like maybe setting fire in an enclosed space like this with probably one entrance and exit is not the best idea, and they should probably know that. I know that that's where I need to go next, but I'm still missing, like... I don't remember exactly what number I'm at, but there's still lots of opportunities for stuff. Oh, I can see an office in there. Oh, now there's gas cans over here. I think that's as much as I can get out of the area with those two spots. So I guess I have to stand
we all
here.
entered the cell.
Could you describe the cell?
Very basic. Mattress, window, chair.
Okay. So he's... I'm locked in. Okay, so I have to...
What was Mr. Faltman doing?
Mr.
Group
Fartman.
leader Faltman seemed to hesitate. He shared my concerns about killing the old sod. He told us to wait.
Okay. Interesting.
Yet Schickert insisted. He referred to that new order about dealing with insurgents. He was such a stickler for the rules. He could be really annoying about these things.
Oh,
Were the compartments prepared to host prisoners?
Kind of. We adjusted them, so our prisoner could stay there for interrogations and not get out.
What did he say?
He insisted that any delay would constitute treason.
And treason must be reported, he said. The refusal to obey orders would be of interest for the Gestapo. Faced with this open threat of being denounced, we did not dare to act.
Can I go into the cell? Yes, I can. Let's see. Bucket. Hold on. There has to be something else that's teal. Yep, here it is.
For how long were the prisoners held in these cells?
Mostly around a week.
Okay, despite how that, how interactable that bucket looks, I can't do anything with it. Okay, I'm trying not to miss anything too important.
The tension was strong. Group leader Faltman ordered us to wait once more. But Schickert drew his gun and shot him.
Okay, so he's pointing...
What weapons did the people present have? Standard issue equipment?
We could wish. Those were the last days. We had almost nothing left. Rifles, pistols, ammunition. We had to use whatever was somehow left, or what we managed to get out of the woods.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this.
Bucket. Okay. There's still some additional information that I have left that I can gather. Why would the bullet be there? It should still be stuck in his head. Oh, okay, now that's open. Oh.
I think I'm still missing something.
Because I just get bapped by the door.
How did Mr. Schwarz's office look like?
Quite fancy given the circumstances. Leather chair, massive oak desk. District leader Schwarz cared about showing off.
Well, that's not what I see. That's a regular-ass chair, and I wouldn't call that a massive oak desk. Somebody's a fibber. Interesting. Alright. 245.
Was Mr. Schwarz involved in the execution?
He gave the orders, but the members of the local group were responsible for carrying them out. Surely you can't expect a busy man like the district leader to attend every execution in person.
There was no execution order in the files I got. If it exists, I should check if I can get my hands on it. Did Mr. Schwarz even get to see the victim, Hans Naumann?
Not entirely sure. He was in his office when we brought the perpetrator.
The victim?
The victim into a cell.
If Schwarz didn't see the victim, did he know they had the wrong man? What did he know?
This door looks open. Okay, bookshelf. Nope. Not even the stickery, the note board. Alright, how about this?
What were Mr. Schwarz's responsibilities as a district leader?
He was responsible for organizing relief measures for the party during air raids, coordinating local groups, providing food and emergency quarters. He had also found the brewery for us and organized the move.
How was working under Mr. Feldman?
Great. He was a good leader and a better man. It was a pleasure to work with him. Even though some people might have disagreed, we had our share of malcontents in the group. But he knew how to deal with them effectively.
Interesting. I should ask Paula if she can find any information about this.
Ooh, okay, so there's a couple that I can ask about.
What were your responsibilities in your local group?
Most of the time I accompanied District Leader Schwarz and drove him when he needed a driver. He knew how to convey power and discipline.
And drove him when he needed a driver. Okay, so by the testimony of, where is it? Nope, it's in here. Yeah, protocol or conversation. Went together with Mr. Faltman out into the hallway. With crimes of this severity, I always give the same order, the order to execute. I then told my driver to come with me to my office. The others went to the prisoner to carry out my order as requested. So, if... I already forgot his name. The guy we're talking to... Kybitz. If he says that he was his driver whenever he needed one, then by word of, I already forgot the guy's name. I'm really shitty with names. Schwartz. That he pulled him off the, I guess, execution detail. So, if anything, him pointing the finger at who shot whom is all malarkey, because his superior claims, or his superior is saying that he wasn't even present at that. He was with him. Shortly thereafter, there was already a polite knock at the door. Reported to me that the insurgent had been successfully executed. So it was either Faltman or the other guy that goodness gracious, names. Faltman or Schickert that could have done it, I guess. Given that now they're saying that Kybitz wasn't even present.
How did you and Mr. Schickert get along?
He and I didn't have much to do with each other. We were just part of the same local group. He was no feast for the eyes, a cranky guy, strange. Always strict with his work, but annoying from time to time. He was obsessed with Prussian virtues.
Okay. Now there's one more piece of information that I can... Okay, I guess that's the last one.
How was your relationship to Mr. Schwarz?
He treated me fairly and friendly. I learned a lot from him.
Okay, he seems to not be too fond of the guy he's pointing the finger at. Okay, so I have all the information that I can derive from down here, so I suppose let's skedaddle through the...
So what you are saying is, Schickert shot the old man against Mr. Feldman's order?
Exactly.
That's horrible.
These are brutal events you're getting to hear here. Are you sure you're up for it? Honestly, no one would think this is a job for a woman. What do you have to prove? I will file a formal complaint.
Why? You answered all of my questions.
What would you like to complain about?
About talking to you instead of a real prosecutor.
Oh,
I see. Well, if you think that's necessary, go ahead. Thank you for your time.
go
Mr.
suck a
Kibitz.
goat.
Goodbye, Miss Katz.
If you didn't think she was a real prosecutor, you wouldn't have sat there and answered all of my questions. So, fuck off!
If you have a moment, I have something for you.
Really, Gib?
So, I've done some digging beforehand
Yes?
and found something potentially useful for you. The brewery's blueprint. I put it in your office on the corkboard. I thought it might help you to have more of a physical understanding of the crime scene.
Ooh. What's the point? Where is the board? I need some documents. I know where the board is. Yes.
I need some additional files.
Something specific?
Information on Mr. Faltman, execution order, local group equipment. I can't... Let's do the local...
I need information on the equipment used by the local group. Weapons, mainly. As bureaucratic as the NSDAP was, they must have kept some sort of record.
Of course. I'll start looking. Anything else?
Well, it seems like the execution order was more verbal than anything, so I guess let's start with...
One of the suspects mentioned something interesting about Mr. Feldman. Could you check if there was anything strange happening with his subordinates? Threats, blackmail, anything?
Of course. I'll start looking. Anything else?
According to the suspects, the shooting was ordered by the deceased Mr. Schwarz. But I saw no copy of such an order in the original case's files.
That's weird. I'll look into it right away. Anything else?
I think that will be it for now.
I hope it can help you with the preparations for Mr. Peters.
I'm sure it will. Thank you, Paula.
Mr. Peters. Okay. Let's go back in here. Is that my board? That looks new. Ha. Okay, build your theory. Who ordered the execution? In the blueprint, you reconstruct and compare the events of your witnesses' testimonies, building the theory you'll present at one point in court. Okay. Course of crime. The crime is divided into 5 steps. Each step is connected with a question that you answer by editing the blueprint. Edit theory. You can move the figures around to display their locations and assign them actions. Select a character and give him the action to answer the first question. Okay, who ordered the execution? all seems to point towards him. Oh. Herder. Okay, done. Let's see. For your training with Mr. Peters, answering only step 1 is enough. Of course, you can proceed to build the rest of the first statement. Okay, who ordered the execution? Oh, statements. Mr. Faltman and District Leader Schwartz step out into the hallway. Mr. Schwartz gave the order for execution. What Schwartz himself says, that I remember that my esteemed colleague, Alfred Faltman, group leader of the local group 1, or just local group, period, I tasked with or it should be a comma, actually. I tasked with catching the criminal, came to my office. He told me they got the traitor and gave his report from the arrest. I went together with him out into the hallway. Always give the same order to execute. I then told my driver. So yeah, it seems like so far they are in agreement. All standing out here when this happened. Okay, that seems pretty doable. I agree with that. It seems like 2 people at least agree with that particular sort of action. Okay, I guess let's meet with Peter. Mr. Peters. And, I think that should be good for just like a little introduction to the demo for today. So let's see what dumb old Mr. Peters has to say. And then I think we'll,
Honorable Miss Cutts,
call it
would
a day.
you be ready then?
I think so. How are we going to do that?
I will act as defense and court, and you will do your part.
Did you read the files?
Have you studied the case well enough to actually help me here?
Yes, I did. Some people have to take their work seriously, you know. Anyway, you present your prosecution, support your conclusions with evidence, and win the case. And I'm trying to stop you from doing just that. Should be a piece of cake. For one of us, at least.
New tutorial available. Press play. Start presenting your theory to the court by pressing play. Okay. Ah, the play button is up there. Alright. Play is Y. Okay, let's see. Course of the crime, who ordered the execution. There's not enough information to do 2, so let's just, I guess, play this part out.
His execution was ordered by Herbert Schwartz, the district leader for the city of Munich. As the highest-ranking person involved, he bears the main responsibility for Mr. Norman's death. Mr. Schwartz is unfortunately deceased, and as such cannot be tried. This does not, however, absolve his subordinates of their culpability.
Objection. According to the witness statement, it was Mr. Schickert who gave the order. Can you support your claims with meaningful evidence?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. If you would take a look at this.
I have 2 things. 1, the execution ordered by the district leader was carried out according to the law. Oh, oh no, that's it. Because this is district leader. That's right. Because who's the group leader? The group leader was Faltman. So yes, this one should support that. I forgot that this piece of paper existed.
This document clearly states that it was Mr. Schwartz who gave the order.
Not bad cuts, but not great either. If that's all the prosecution can come up with, the case is as good as lost. Knowing the right answers is often not enough to win your case. You also need to form the right conclusions. Conclusions the court is willing to follow, because they are plausible, and because you can back them up with evidence. A valid conclusion is always based on several clues. The one clue we are very certain is true is that Schwartz gave the command. So your conclusion should be based on that. Open your case file and give it a go.
Connect my clues. Well, I think I've already done that. Hold on. Who ordered the execution? For each question, you have a single crafting slot. which means... Oh. Open a slot. A conclusion is a combination of 3... Oh, so I do have 3 things. So in here, we have this one. We also have this one. And we have this one.
It must have been like this.
Ah, conclusion successful combined. Okay, there are no discrepancies on who ordered the execution. District Leader Herbert Schwartz gave the command to shoot Mr. Naumann. I just forgot about the first one. Hoop hoop. Super smart.
I think I got it.
Shoot.
We have several consistent statements that Schwartz gave the order to shoot. There are no discrepancies in the testimonies. It says so in the files, and Mr. Schwartz stated it himself in 1947. Therefore, I conclude the order to shoot Hans Naumann came from District Leader Herbert Schwartz.
Congratulations. Well done, Katz. If you argued just as coherently in court, this might go better than I expected. However, it was not particularly difficult, and it will probably not be that easy again.
Oh, shut up.
Well done.
Thank you, Peters.
Enough practice. Your case is waiting. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you.
You should ask Paula to invite the next witness. There is still a lot we don't know.
Next stop, Paula. Peters.
Katz?
Peters. Invite a new witness. Okay. So it seems that we're making some pretty good progress. Story mode is actually a lot of fun, and I guess it's a good introduction to this type of game. So I'm having a pretty good time. It's been about an hour and a half. I think that's a pretty good general introduction to the Darkest Files. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. But I think that'll do it for today. We will revisit this another time. But until then, I will see you in the next stream. Have a great rest of your day. Okay? Bye, guys.